digital revolution, posed to harness the transformative power of technology for sustainable development. Now, with over 60% of Nigeria's population under 25, the country's youthful demographic presents a unique opportunity for innovation and growth. However, this potential is threatened, always threatened by challenges such as limited digital access, online safety concerns, inadequate skills training, and a non-conducive environment. Yes, the environment is not, Nigeria is not conducive if you ask me. Well, viewers, welcome to another interesting edition of the Now Streaming program coming to you from ACNN TV. I am Promise Njoku Adibe, your uncle. And viewers, I'm not alone. With me in the studio to do justice to our topic today are Mr. Akin Akimbisola. He is CEO and founder of Youth Employ and Development Initiatives. Good morning, Mr. Akin. That has another Akin in his surname.
Good
It's
morning.
good to have you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
How do you feel being your youth?
Yes, I feel positive, and I have a strong belief and faith in Nigeria.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes,
That's
thank you.
awesome. I love that. Viewers, I also have with me someone who says it the way it is. He's none other person than Mr. John Dunu. He is a social commentator, and I'm sure he's going to comment today. Good morning, Mr. John.
Good morning, man. Good morning, viewers, and happy International Youth
So, are you a
Day.
youth?
Well, um,
You're thinking about it.
not thinking about it, but in Nigeria, you are even in the world at large. We have people that are youth at mind, and you have the actual youth at age.
Okay. So,
So-
which are you? Both or you that mind?
I'm standing in between.
Well, that is Mr. Dunu for you. Viewers, you know you are part of this conversation. Always remember that. So feel free to call in or send in your comments via any of our social media platforms or phone number showing on your screen right now. International Youth Day.
Dang, dang.
He said genge. I'm trying to look for one of these soundtracks that when there's something serious happening, you know, where's that Nigerian sound? Somebody should borrow me a soundtrack.
May I want
so-
to contact Nollywood for that?
well, oh yeah, I think I did a poor job. I should have contacted them before coming on set. So let me start with you. Who is
Okay.
the youth here? So can you tell us about when it started, this International
Okay.
Youth Day? When did it commence, and what led to the celebration of this day?
Okay, so the International Youth Day started in the year 2000.
Okay.
Yes, so and it was actually agreed upon in the year 1999 at the United Nations General Assembly, and the reason is because we had all over the nations of the earth, the youth population, the youth have a large population. Especially if you bring it to context of even the country we are in today, we have over 60% of our populace are young people. So it's the one of the aim of the International Youth Day was to create awareness, around youth involvement, the challenges youth are facing. The reason why we need to include these people, because when you are not including people who have the larger population in your society, then there's a problem. And to begin to form some level of inclusion, so that our young people can be carried along, we can understand their struggles, we can understand their challenges, and we can be able to encourage unity amongst both the youth and the people who are above the youth level, you know. So International Youth Day is a welcome idea, and every year, you know, we have different themes for each of the years, and it's just about just creating the awareness and to understand that our youth population should not be neglected.
Okay, but then what comes to your mind?
Yeah.
You know, looking at this celebration, anytime, every year, when we say, what comes to your mind? Now, I don't want you to talk, you know, vaguely. I want you to narrow it down to Nigeria.
Okay,
As
okay,
a
so-
Nigerian youth,
okay.
see what's happening in Nigeria. What comes to your mind celebrating such a day?
Such a day. Funny enough, I won't lie to you. You're right. When I got here this morning and I started reviewing reviewing on the International Youth Day, for me, so I had mixed feelings. I won't lie to you. That's being honest with you. I had mixed feelings about it, because it seems as if the voice of the youth are being heard, but they are not being addressed.
Okay.
You know, so what
Okay.
I'm trying to say is that the youth are talking, through the protests, social media, you see people commenting and all of that. But it looks as if we are being taken for granted.
Nobody's listening.
No, yes. So it looks as if they pretend to be hearing us, but I don't think they're listening to us. So there's a difference in communication. You can be talking and somebody pretend as if they're hearing you, but they're not listening. They're really not listening to you. So I think we have the challenge already. Okay. So and celebrating International Youth Day in 2024. And this 24 years after celebrating the International Youth Day, and if we narrow it down to Nigeria, I think a lot needs to be done. We've done not too young to run, and all of that has happened, and all of that it has gone. We are not even hearing anything about it, and so you're not too young to run, and all of that. That's trying. We can include young people in the governance and that. President Tinubu has tried to have some young people working with him in his cabinet, but what is the difference we have seen as young people? A lot of every government come with different initiatives for young people, but who are the people who are benefiting from these initiatives? So it's a call to action. It's a call it's a call for more inclusion for the young people. It's a call for the government of the day to begin to address the glaring problems that young people are facing.
True.
From unemployment to the issue of insecurity that we're faced with, to cyberbullying and all of that.
A whole lot.
It's a whole lot. If you start listing the problems you start facing here, we'll not live here today. So we can. The government should please. We are begging. They should please begin to look towards.
We're actually not even supposed to beg. It is our right.
Right, but
So I now ask Nigerians: do we really have rights, or they're just enshrined in the constitution, but
they're not being carried out?
They're not being implemented. Do we have rights? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with our guests here that youths should be carried along? Do you love the people the president have brought?
I was saying something last week. I had a meeting with our board chairperson. I said we're just having a conversation about Nigeria. That was during the height of the protest. Right, we said some Nigerians, we're not asking for too much.
Not at all.
Yeah, we're not asking for too much. Yes, just make Nigeria safe for us to live in.
And Nigerians, we thrive.
Yes, just give us the enabling environment. Just give us an enabling environment. Just make it safe for us to thrive in.
Okay, viewers, please feel free to call in. We want to hear your thoughts too with regards to International Youth Day. We already have a youth in the studio vibrating and giving it out. So feel free to call in. If you have any questions for them, please call in. I'm sure they will answer your questions. Now, he talked about, getting the young ones involved. I'm sure not too young to run in politics, but then something came to mind.
Yeah.
We have one of our youngest governors. He was a governor. He was a white lion, and then all of a sudden the eagle is chasing the lion. So would you say, as a young person who was opportune to occupy that post, that he has represented the youths well? Do you think with his action youths will be entrusted with such responsibilities in future?
Well, I'm not actually from the region where the white lion governed.
Okay.
But sometimes I pass through that region, and that's the place that's connected to so many states in Nigeria. It's supposed to be better. Supposed to do. In fact, you're supposed to, when you arrive at the central spot where people going to the east, people going to everywhere. It's supposed to be like you are not in Nigeria or you are not in the world, but you still see everywhere local people. You still experience flood and everything. And talking about the 12th of August 2020, 2000, just like you rightly said.
Yeah.
They at UN they sat down and they said, wow, to achieve sustainable development,
to include this guy,
we need to include these people because our brain is going away, and
You said our brain, okay?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm speaking in India.
I understand. I'm going to get back to you on that. So just continue.
All right, because there's nothing you would do in this world without and be successful without involving a youth.
Agreed.
Right, Nigerian youth believe, an average Nigerian youth believe that their yesterday has been stolen.
Yeah.
All right. So, in celebrating this year's 2024 International Youth Day, I'm making a request on behalf of the Nigerian youth that it's believed that yesterday has been stolen, because when you travel to other countries, the same year that Nigeria got independent, China did. But you see where Nigeria is. Nigeria will work hard for the next 50 years, as in work hard very seriously for the next 50 years to catch up with China. We're not even talking about China. Let's talk about India. Let's talk about even South Africa that
I was
got
just
their
about saying,
independence.
can we just talk about even the
We don't-
African countries?
Let's talk about Egypt. All right. So, but what is happening in Nigeria is when anyone got in there, they are looking for them and their family.
Aye.
The school fees of my children. Let me just pay it 5 years ahead. Let me just stack some money somewhere. That is poverty mentality.
Agreed.
All right.
Agreed.
So, the youth, coming back to the question you asked, that is not a typical representation of
Okay.
a Nigerian youth.
Okay.
You see, a Nigerian youth, what they did at the Olympic. I'm not talking about the ones, because we know that they usually cage Nigerian youth so that you don't even protest, so that you don't even cough. All right, so that when mosquito is even biting you, you don't even try to kill the mosquito. All right, so not the people that represented Nigeria, but if not the people that Olympian that represented Germany, represented US, they are Nigerians. Those are those people making us, and we have the crops of them like us in Nigeria.
Yes.
It-
Rest-
it-
Yeah,
rest-
I was still
rest
waiting.
in that-
I was
Yeah.
still waiting
Yeah.
because you
The
know at the
crowd-
initial stage he said
Yeah.
he was in between. So when he was talking earlier, he said we. That's the older ones. I had to stress it we,
Exactly.
and now he said us. So bros, choose one place. Are you for us or against us?
So actually, the Nigerian youth is that resilient person, is that guy that and that lady that have the heart that no, I cannot be intimidated, I cannot fail, there's no failure, there's no regression, I upward and forward, I must
We
achieve
move.
success, innovation, doing things the better way. That is typical Nigerian youth. And I'm asking that Nigerian youth should be given more opportunities to govern the states in this Nigeria, and even becoming the president. All right.
Wow, I can't wait. I Lord, may I be alive to witness the day a youth under 30 or at most 30 would govern Nigeria.
It will happen.
But these things were happening now. Most of the military head of states.
Wait,
were
we're
in their
talking about
30s.
military.
No, I'm
military.
just so if it have happened before, it can happen again.
Okay, we're in a democratic
Yeah,
setting.
so it can
That's-
happen
okay.
again.
That's why I said I'm
In
praying.
their
to God.
30s,
Yes.
when they were not even married.
Yes.
Now somebody is married and you're even trying to control his life, telling him when to cough and when not to cough.
It's crazy.
It's really crazy. Well, viewers, you're hearing our guests in the studio. They are really not smiling this morning.
There's nothing to smile
Nigerian
about.
youth deserve better. Nigerian youth, our voices need to be heard. I'm still a youth, don't worry. Our voices need to be heard. Okay, so now the theme for this year, from clicks to progress, youth digital pathways for sustainable development. Now, looking at this year's theme, what comes to your mind? I still want you to talk on Nigerian youth because
Okay.
I want us to focus on
Bring it home.
ourselves. Yes,
Yeah.
let's bring it home. What comes to your mind looking at the theme? Do you think it resonates with us?
Yeah, so sometimes when you see some of these things, you're like trying to really funnel it down to just like you wanted us to do to our nation, Nigeria. But in if we're going to be honest with ourselves, in today's world, the digital space offers us enormous opportunities.
True.
As young people. Enormous opportunities to contribute to nation building, enormous opportunities for us to earn a living, enormous opportunity to reduce unemployment. Because the truth is that digital space has a lot of tools, a lot of assets that youth in Nigeria can begin to leverage on to first take themselves off the burden of unemployment that was saddled with as a nation, so you can begin to contribute your own quota to the nation. It gives you the opportunity to be able to air your voice. You can also begin to even, just like we do at my organization, Youth Employ, right? You can begin to take some of these digital training skills and begin to also train other people, thereby making them also self-reliant. If this is being done, if you can take these digital skills and trainings very seriously, we can begin to reduce unemployment in our nation. We can reduce cybercrime. We can reduce social vices, because they say an idle man is a devil's workshop.
Exactly.
So if our youth are fully engaged, they will be able to we'll be able to reduce these social vices, unemployment, reduce out of school children, because some of these people, so if you know, because in the society we are where we are in, we are not out of this black tax thing. So there are some persons that when they begin to earn a living for themselves, they still look back and be able to also pull their own siblings out of poverty, you know, out of lack. Be able to say, okay, my younger brother too has to go to school. And if we can channel all the energy, some of our youth are channeling all the energies to do Yahoo and all of that, cybercrime. Why don't we begin to look at these digital skills and begin to channel our energy to it and begin to earn legitimately? I know people who are in this country who are earning in hundreds, in 6 digits, just by leveraging digital skills. So it's something that digital skills and the tech space is the new oil. It's very important for us to know that if you don't begin to see it that way and begin to look for opportunities to tap into and look at what you can do in that space, how you can believe in your own skill set, getting more trainings. I've seen people who switch career paths and in 3 months they've made it. I've seen people in a year their life got turned around just by looking at the digital space and begin to look at opportunities. What can I do for myself? Which skill do I think resonate with me? And sometimes it's not. Some people don't even look at it, which one resonates with me. What can I do first to lead myself out of poverty and out of lack?
Man must work.
Man must work. Do you know? So and there's a lot of opportunities there. You know, I don't want to start listing, but if you go online, even from people, look at. Let's bring it down to just even our the content creators we have in Nigeria today, and nursing the Facebook of this world, and nursing the YouTube of this world. Take it to data analytic. Take it to web design. Take it to AI learning, AI and machine learning. A lot of our youth are doing amazing in this world, in this skill. Did you see a man last week during the protest? He said his son is 13 years old.
Yeah.
And he cannot even buy data for this guy. And the guy is coding.
Very, very good in coding. Yeah,
13 years old. So I was expecting that when that video went viral, maybe I think the guy's in Lagos, I think. The governor of Lagos, through their education trust fund or something, they will pick on that boy.
No, it actually happened. It actually happened.
Okay.
That child, that's a good news. That child got a scholarship to carry on.
Beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
So that's also
Because
was it from the government now or from an individual?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But if it's from the government, it would be said that it's from the government.
Yeah,
But I mean,
space.
it's on a social media space.
Yeah.
They started looking for the guy and they got him.
Yeah.
And so the child has been given scholarship.
But if I will be happy and I'll be more fulfilled that the government is doing something, if the government also take that. I don't know who has given a scholarship to this guy. It could be a private entity or whatsoever, private individuals. But if government can also begin to look, that guy is not the only one that has the challenge.
True.
Let's agree that this guy has gotten a scholarship. There are other young people all over our nation that have these soft skills, digital skills, are doing well for themselves. They no longer burn nice candle. They're on their laptops all night, trying to get stuff done, trying to learn new things, and we're not creating an enabling environment for them. I think that needs. If you ask me, one of the things I think the government of the day should do for us is to make even data free.
Wow.
Yes.
Bros, wake up.
I'm just saying it's possible.
Okay, yeah.
It happens around it. So
it happens in the world.
So,
we're looking for fuel subsidy, bros.
No. But let's be honest. The reason why we are where we are is because we see possibilities in some of these things because we don't believe in our government.
Exactly,
This thing is possible.
No, in supporting what he has just
It's
said,
possible.
In other climes, you just go to like
A public place. You connect your Wi-Fi and that's
connect
all.
and you don't
You're
need to
using.
say I cannot communicate because
No.
I don't have data. There are free Wi-Fi
Everywhere.
So people like us are really working towards stuff like that. And I mean, corporations or businesses or companies like even Dangote, like
To the CSRs.
you
Yes.
you don't need to pay them the tax so that they can carry on eating the money. So you use that money for CSR.
You CSR, yeah. I'm
Exactly.
good to get this thing done.
You use that money for CSR. You partner with an ISP companies, and they get data present in for the people.
We can even start. Let's even start from our maybe public secondary schools.
Yes.
Let's start from there. Some of these kids are.
I really applaud like governor. Like I'm not from Anambra State though, but Professor Chukuma Soludo. I'm not his
Soludo.
fan.
Yeah.
I'm not his fan, but he's really doing fantastic. He's really doing fantastic on education. Do you know in an Anambra state, education is compulsory and it's free? All right, even governor like the Enugu State governor, you know, Dr. What was his name again? You know, that's my state governor now.
Mba.
Dr. Mba, you know,
Mba.
he's doing fantastic.
But,
All right, he's doing smart school. Can I shock you now? Do you know that 1 in every 3 Nigerian child is out of school? So what do you expect? During the protests, that was not organized, what happened? Because they don't have the right education to know what we are fighting for. They started now to, okay, this is a metal, I'm going to break this metal and go and sell it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a bank, I'll break it and take away the window and go and sell it.
Yeah.
So there's nothing else
Yeah.
they know about.
Did you see some of the videos that are flying on social media? I don't know how that happened, but you notice that some of these guys were carrying placard of no protest, and
they
what
were
they were saying in their mouth was different from what they were carrying in their hands. So that someone will say, hunger day, I never talk.
No protest.
But no protest, you can't no
But
protest.
hunger day.
But hunger day, and you are complaining about the government.
That is caricature.
Yeah, so that's where we find ourselves. People not even understanding what it is. Yes.
You know,
Okay, so
education.
It's another level of illiteracy that we are facing.
Now the problem is now we've seen these challenges. Okay, we talked about the Anambra State governor. You talked about Enugu State governor. They're already doing things, you know, to be able to help their people education-wise, as in their youths. Now let's look at the north. Let's look at the north. Now, how would you advise the government and, you know, all those that be it? How would you advise them, you know, to take advantage of the digital exposition now, you know, to bring out their people out of poverty? Because the truth is, I schooled in the north. I had classmates who were, you know, the best student in my department was a northerner. He had serious deficiency, you know, communicating in English, but give it to him, he will pieces it. He was the best student. And then we see those of them that went to school, they you know, they thrive. They
That is that different from the past.
Yes. But then looking at the fact that the north is I don't know how best to put it. What advice would you give the government to leverage on our digital space right now to pull out those people out of poverty? Looking at the youths.
So I think some states are already doing something around that. I saw something about, I think, Katsina State or something some weeks back. I just stumbled onto an Instagram page, I think, of the guy who was in charge of their something around their tech ecosystem and all of that. I think if we want to really be serious about this thing, is to understand that the World Economic Forum says something. They said that.
Okay, sorry, let me put you on hold. We have our first caller for the program. Good morning. Thank you for calling.
My name is Amos. I'm coming from Abuja. I really want to contribute my quota on the topic of today.
Okay.
I want to appreciate God first and foremost that I'm a youth and I'm a Nigerian. I so much believe in this country. But the challenge we are having in this country is the youth have been neglected totally, ranging from unemployment, security, Yahoo, and whatsoever. Now, if the Nigerian government can invest so much in education, job creation, and well-enabled environment, we have young, talented Nigerians in this country that even if they assume a position of president, they will do well today. But our leaders never believe in the youth of this country. The only time they believe in the youth of this country is during campaign, electoral campaign. They will arm them, give them guns to snatch ballot paper, And after they are done, they don't see them as potential ministers. They don't see them as potential commissioner or other elective offices. So we have so much kidnapping today. Why? Because the Nigerian youth are neglected. For instance, I have a family and I'm hungry. What do I do? When I have any available means to kidnap anybody, I'll kidnap, I go. Having said that, I'm not supporting that kidnapping is the way out. Because Nigeria has been left. So much young men that you meet, and the only thing that comes to your mind is how to japa. Now, if you look at our political composition, now we have a minister of youth, though I don't know him because I don't care to know, I don't know his age. Yeah, we don't. I don't support that. But the thing that what I'm trying to say, my submission is, if the Nigerian government will have a well-enabling environment for the youth to exhibit their talent, I'm telling you, all of those things will not be there again. If you look at the EFCC, they have shifted their focus to Yahoo boys. Now, if they are going after all those Yahoo boys, and maybe they make a campaign to stop the Yahoo boy, and there is no environment for them to exhibit their credibility, their ability, what happened to them? So those are the challenges we are facing in Nigeria. You see, the problem of Nigeria is very simple. If youth can be tackled, then that's all. And I believe Nigeria will be better. And I pray that Nigeria, in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, won't be where we are today.
Amen.
God bless you, sir.
Bless you. Thank you very much, Mr. Amos. Well, then we appreciate your contribution, and I still want to encourage youth. Criminality is not the way out. So, and here in ACNN, we don't encourage it. You can work hard. You know, make your own input. You can make money legitimately. You don't have to, get your hands toiled with, evil. So please always put that in mind.
But that's a very good advice to Nigerian youth.
Yeah.
But I needed to also advise the government, and it's not only to this government. He made a very great point, a valid point. Nigerian youth has been neglected.
Yes, it's
not since
debatable.
the independent. Nigerian youth has been neglected. You know that these guys have tendency of Yahoo. That same thing with even India. All right, they discovered this on time, but they did not. Oh, let's EFCC be chasing them up and down, go and lock them up. They converted it, and that is the only major source of income to India today. Please carry on sharing your thoughts. So, as you're advising Nigerian youth to desist from Yahoo, it's very important to advise the people, because we have changed the definition of democracy to become government of the elites, by the elites, and for the elites.
Yeah.
So you advise them equally, because I opened the conversation here by saying that an average Nigerian youth believed that their yesterday has been stolen.
Which is true.
So if they had understood the right thing or did the right thing at the right time, they would have converted this jackpot syndrome, because you cannot do Yahoo maybe in Nigeria, or you travel to other country and begin to do those things. They would have converted it to this more than crude oil.
But then it's not late.
It's supposed to be more than crude oil. The digital space is more than the oil, the money you are focusing on getting on crude oil.
It's actually not late to do that. It's not late. Yeah, you were talking about how to come to challenges in the north.
Yeah, cut across not just the north, all over the state in the federation, right? We can begin to. I saw something that Katsina state government is doing. But I think one of the problems we have with initiatives that will come up with in Nigeria is sustainability.
Very true.
So we are good at creating agencies. We are good at creating portfolios for people, saying this is supposed to address this. But sustainability is always our problem. So if I'm seeing some states already talking something about they have a center for this one, innovation, something. and all of that. Those things are good. Some of those initiatives are initiative of the Minister of Bosun Tijani, Minister of Communications, right?
Digital economy.
Yes, digital economy and all that. So all these things are very important. But I would want to encourage our state governors to continue to just like you just said. I said something and I said tech is the new oil.
Yeah.
Tech is the new oil. So if we keep talking about crude oil, and we're focusing, see, some of these young people, I said something earlier again. I said we are not asking for too much. The area of our strength, the area of our skills, the area of our interests, just give us the enabling environment. And that's why I was advocating for free data. So that people who are just getting to tech newly, they have opportunities to be able to surf the internet and get resources.
Even from little. Even from
Yes,
little children.
yes. I have a cousin who's just how old now? Maybe like 12 years old. He's good with this coding thing. And that was not because government gave him an enable environment. It was because the parents ensured that they paid their way to make that happen for him. What about people who cannot pay their way for their own kids? Are you not making their children already at a disadvantage? So why can't we create this opportunity for let us play let us give people an equal playing field, so that before we used to talk about our young people, they cannot compete with kids of other nations. We're having it right under our nose. Even in this nation, our kids in this nation cannot compete with other kids in this our own nation first. Talk less of even talking about competing with kids abroad.
But I think that saying was just a myth, because our young ones that have jackpot, that have gone out, those that school, they compete and they beat those other
people. So I like what
from,
you just said.
I
like the fact that you said they have jackpot.
Yes.
That was because they had them number environment when they got there. I
agree with you 100%.
Nigerians are smart people.
We are.
Nigerian youth are smart. They are resilient. They are audacious. They are courageous people. And we have this entrepreneurial spirit in us. We have this we move, don't give up spirit in us.
Yeah.
But what we are just asking of, we have said, is not too much. Give us an enabling environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Give us an enabling environment.
Exactly. An enabling environment, it's just the way to go.
Yeah.
Just to add to what you are advocating for.
Yes, sir.
Free data. Government may not necessarily or possibly begin to provide free data. They never give us the subsidy where we they can't begin to give you the data.
This is possible now.
It's possible, but then let's be realistic with the people.
Okay, may they make them affordable then. Okay. See how data day now.
Exactly.
Very expensive, yes.
So that's why I'm saying that the CSR, the companies, corporations need to come. But I'm advocating for free education.
Compulsory.
Free. And we rejig our education system in Nigeria. It's not because we are going to study what we let me just be a graduate. Let me just be you find out somebody read agriculture is working in a bank. Somebody I don't understand.
I have someone that studied mechanical engineering working in a bank.
you know the truth.
Exactly, counting money.
So I think our curriculum also needs when talk about
it.
Because you know what I was saying something like I was talking about World Economic Forum. So what Economic Forum said that some of the jobs we have today, right? When some of us now, our children, when they set time for them to start getting employed. Some of these jobs we are celebrating today, some of them will be obsolete already.
Yes, very true.
So what is that supposed to do to us? We are supposed to be thinking of how to position our young people right from the primary schools, right from the courses they take for the future of work.
That is what I'm advocating for.
Not to teach them this.
No.
At the end of the day, they can't find the X.
Something they cannot use. So give them practical things
on our curriculum. Yeah. Because my children, they say, everyone have tablets in our class, and I said, what tablets? I phoned the teacher. Okay, do you think tablet is better or computer is computer? And they are learning coding from primary to grade 2 to going to 3. Yeah. All right. So how can you now? And it's okay. What do you want to be? I want to be an aeronautic engineer. You already know what you want to be. Yeah. An engineer that is fixing aeroplane. Yeah. So I have God help Nigeria. I have a relation of mine that just graduated from electrical electronics, and And I'm trying to fix these guys. Okay, come into this telecom system, go for training, and just be a progress. He told me he doesn't have a computer.
Wow.
How were you able? These are the stuffs that even the government can be able to support. And coming to, you would say they are giving the loan, the student loan to the youths, and even the process to access this loan is tiring. It can even be discouraging. What's happened to grants? By the time you went to school, did they give you loan to go to school? I know of people, doctors, not medical doctors, but PhD holders. There's read abroad in Italy and everywhere. I was asking them, how did you manage? They got scholarship, and it's still even happening in a sensible climb. I've got another relation of mine. He is even blind. He is a lawyer, and in America, they discovered this guy. Do you know what they did? They gave him admission, and they gave him scholarship and employment.
Wow.
Everything paid. He traveled. So why are you guys suffering, Nigerian youth? So let the youth breathe.
Let the youth breathe. I just got a comment on a show of shame. Good caption in the newspaper. Tinubu government is a government of shame and failures in all ramifications. This is coming from Victor Jackson. Okay, thank you, Victor Jackson, for your comments. We want to encourage others to please feel free to send in your comments. We'll always read them out. And if you can't send in, feel free to call us. The number to call is showing on your screen. And then Mr. Dunu said, allow the Nigerian youth breathe.
Let the youth breathe.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
Let the youths breathe, because looking at the whole thing, it's really getting to a lot of people, and then you find out some end up giving up. You find out that when you go to the IDPs, I happen to live not too far from one. When you go there, you see these young boys, young girls, they craft bicycles. Just with all these used plastics and all of that, and then, they just display it. One did this. There's this lights they called. Is it say Baba? There's this light they call. It's just like a flashlight. You just put your finger batteries and then it comes up and all of that. I saw that guy making, and I was like, I was talking with my husband and I said, in a sane climb, they'll pick this boy up, brush him up, and then he would do better. So when I see all of these youths now, they're already suffering as a result of insecurity. They are suffering as a result of hunger. They're suffering as a result of lack of education. So what do you want them to do? What do you want their parents to do?
So you put them at the disadvantaged position. That's why I said that.
So right now we have them.
Yes.
What can we do as a people? Because obviously, with all due respect, but without apologies, our government doesn't care. Else, the government would have put education as priority. They don't care. Now, my question is, as individuals, do we keep waiting for the government to come and do all of this, even though it is their responsibility, even though it's enshrined in our constitution? They don't want to do it. It's not like they can't do it. They don't have the willpower to do it. As individuals right now, companies, entities, what can we do to help these youths? To help these youths harness their future, harness their potentials, to help, even though we know that when they harness, some of them will jackpot. But then some of them will still bring back to the economy of the country. So please, what can we do as individuals and companies and cooperatives?
I think
okay, let me take that as your last words for Nigerians.
Okay. So I think that the Nigerian youth, young people, are very innovative youth and all of that. And I think what I think we can do is, aside from us advocating for the government to play their own role in our own little space, we can also, as much as possible, create an enabling environment also for people around us.
Okay.
What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that if I want to talk about my organization, right, I've not gotten funding from anywhere. I've not gotten any grant from anybody. But I use my own resources to train other young people who, from time to time, I get messages. I'm doing very well in I just got a job.
Wow.
My business has grown this level and all of that. So I think it's a game of, you don't have to have too much to give back. You can just, every one of us in one way or the other, we can play our own quota. in one way or the other, we can be responsible for people around us. In one way or the other, we can take up challenges that we see that because for me, I hate poverty.
Everyone hates it.
I don't know, but I hate poverty. I hate to see people in lack. And that was one of the reasons that fueled my passion for what I do today. Because I believe that with entrepreneurship development that youth employees are advocating for, and professional development, people can, you either be an entrepreneur or entrepreneur. So what we're doing is trying to bridge this gap. So I believe that if we begin to look at different areas where we have challenges, of our youth have challenges, we can begin to play our own role. We can begin to play do our own quota. Everybody doesn't have to start something like Youth Employ. But you can also begin to create opportunity for people to leverage on. It might be in your workplace as much as possible. Encourage people. And I think these things are not far-fetched. It's not too far-fetched off, right? From around us, the place you live. Just like you said, you saw some girls crafting something. Some of the things we can do for them is to patronize them. That's one of the things we can do to them. We can patronize them.
Okay.
We can give them opportunity. You can just make even just a video on your phone and put it on your social media, on your WhatsApp, and say, "Oh, I saw this girl. If you want to buy something, some this girl I saw place."
Okay.
Yes, so that's what. Yes, we can begin to take
thought of it.
responsibility.
I never thought of it. Thank you for bringing that.
Government will not come and see them on your street. They don't even care about them. And if they care about them, how many people will? If government say they care about us, okay, let's agree that they care. But how many people will government see? So they can't see everybody. So if it's the government of people, then people, if we believe the real definition of democracy is that it's the government of people and for the people
No,
and
we've
by the
just
people.
redefined it.
Right? Then the people also need to start taking responsibility for themselves.
Okay.
Because if the government is not going to come, you can't continue to wait for government to come. If mountain does not go to the mountain, Mohammed will go to the mountain.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Itabi. I really appreciate your contribution. So let me hear your last words, Mr. Dunu.
Well, my last word is that Nigerian youth, carry on being that wonderful person that you are. Carry on being that resilient person that you are. Carry on being that innovative person that you are. Get more education. Embrace the digital space. Understand that it's the new oil. And to our government, please let the youth breathe. And to the companies, corporates, organizations, and please, your CSR is important in making things happen in your environment.
Yeah.
If you don't want to see that child turn to be a kidnapper or
an armed robber.
Or a terrorist, invest in your environment, because when there is wealth in the environment and is spreading, the tendency of having criminality will be reduced.
True.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Just 30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds.
I want to, just like he has just done, I want to encourage every young person watching today. You have to understand that you are the architect of your own future, not the government.
Agreed.
So this is a time to take personal responsibility for your own personal development and embrace the digital tools at your disposal. And it's important for you to continue to innovate, continue to seek for new information, and so that you can be able to thrive in this new terrain that we find ourselves.
Okay.
And just like we advocate for in our organization at Youth Employ, we are there to also give a support. And I know there are a lot of organizations that are doing this. And even go online, go on your YouTube, go on your Facebook, go on Google. You get a lot of resources, courses that you can do. There are a lot of free courses everywhere. There are a lot of free platforms where you can learn. YouTube alone itself is a university. So let us leverage these tools and let us shape our future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akin. Thank you very much, Mr. Dunu. You people really made it so interesting.
Are we done?
1 hour is already. 1 hour is already
We're about to start.
It just looks as if we're just starting. You people really made it. 1 hour just went like this. Whim.
Oh wow.
Thank you very much for your wealth of knowledge. We've really tapped just a little out of it. So definitely we'll keep bringing you up. So we'll talk more on how the youths can leverage and be self-reliant. And then to viewers out there, thank you very much for being a part of the show. For the person that called him Mr. Amos, we appreciate your contribution. It's very helpful, and we're very very optimistic that the government will hear that. And to the viewer who sent his comments, we appreciate you too. Those behind the screen, thank you very much for doing what you know how to do best. And then I'll tell you that yes, the future of Nigerian sustainable development lies in the hands of its digitally empowered youths. Hence, all Nigerian youths are encouraged. He has encouraged. I am also encouraging you to continue harnessing the power of technology to drive positive change.
Yeah.
And to our policymakers, he has advised, I'm also advising our policymakers, our stakeholders, and the federal government. We are calling on you to please support and amplify the digital pathways of Nigerian youths and ensure that our voices are heard and our contributions are valued. When you do that together, we can seamlessly, effortlessly unlock the full potential of Nigerians' youth and propel the nation towards a sustainable, digitally driven future. And believe me, Nigeria will be better than every other country if we can do that, because we have all it takes.
Yeah.
So until we come your way again tomorrow, same time, same station, with another very interesting episode of Now Streaming. Do have a great week ahead.